All right, Texas, it's time to have a talk. Let's have a heart-to-heart, Texas, SEC member, Texas. Do we all remember that? Do we all remember that Texas is in the SEC? Watch this. I'm going to get myself potentially banned from any Texas event ever. I don't actually feel that way. You shouldn't have felt anything. For those listening on podcast, I put the old horns down. The utter ridiculous insanity that has transpired over the last several weeks and months with regards to this gesture is utterly insane, and this needs to stop. And Texas fans have to understand. The Big 12 acted, and I have no idea why they felt like they owed anything to Texas, which almost destroyed their league several years ago when they in Oklahoma announced they were going to the SEC. The Big 12 has acted and told people and fans at a BYU basketball game, take off the horns down shirts. Hey, you can't do this. No horns down. I got news for you, Texas. You're going to the SEC. Their mantra in the SEC, you may or may not have heard of it before, goes a little something like this. It just means more. Once upon a time, in a treasured rivalry in the Southeastern Conference, a man went so far as to poison a tree because of football. If you are going into this conference, whether you're the administrators, coaches, players, fans, alumni, boosters, Matthew McConaughey, I don't care who you are. If you can't handle someone taking two fingers and in a non-offensive tone and manner and intention flip them the other way, you're not going to fare very well. You're going to find fans down there in the Southeastern Conference who are going to do and say things that are a heck of a lot meaner than take the horns and put it down. You know what the proper response is when another team gives you the old horns down? It is not to go cry and tattle. That is not how you deal with a bully. Now, this may be ironic because I am not a parent, nor am I close to being one in my life. I'm going to take a stab at it here. When a bully comes over and is tormenting you, is the best thing to do go tattle to the teacher? Is that going to stop him from harassing you and bothering you? Or is that going to make it worse? Because when you go to the conference and say, hey, they're doing the horns down again. Well, does that mean anything? Does it mean anything offensive? No, it's just, I just don't like it. What are you going to incentivize them to do? You're going to incentivize them to do it more. And I'm not so certain that over in the SEC, where it just means more and vitriol knows no bounds, there's a hilarious photo from many years ago in which an Alabama player scores a touchdown, I believe, or a Tennessee player, I think, scores a touchdown in Tuscaloosa, runs through the end zone, and an Alabama fan is right there giving him the double bird. That is wildly more directly offensive than doing horns down. Horns down is just a way to get in your head. And Texas fans, alumni, administrators, anybody who's got a problem with this, coaches and players, you're allowing this to get in your heads. And this is not going to be conducive to succeeding. Because if that can bother you, I got news for you. It's going to be a struggle next year. I think Texas is a really good football team. I love what they've done in the transfer portal. Going out and getting Isaiah Bond from Alabama, Silas Bolden from Oregon State, Quinn Ewers coming back at quarterback, Steve Sarkisian's still there. I love what Texas brings on the field. But here's the other part of it with Texas. As the Longhorns fan base and athletic department, there are already reasons for other fans, whether they're in your conference or not, to not like you. You may be okay with that. Texas is consistently among and has often been the most cash-rich athletic department in all of college athletics. For years, announcers and players and fans and media pundits have bloviated about Texas being back. Only when they stopped declaring themselves back did they actually start to compete at a national championship level, when they just went down and got to work. Sidebar, take notes, Texas A&M. It's not just about recruiting, having money, flash substance and everything. Get down to the nuts and bolts of what it takes to win football games. I think Mike Elko can do that and understands what that takes. Let's recenter this conversation back to the Longhorns here. If you are legitimately bothered by players or coaches or fans or whatever doing a horns down, college sports might not be for you, because there's smack talk. There's a line. There's a line that fans or students or anybody should not and cannot cross. In fact, there are certain gestures that are outlawed, and rightfully so. There are words you can't say. On the list of banned, unacceptable line crossing words and phrases, horns down is not on the list. It's not there. It's not going to be there. Don't expect the SEC to come bail you out. Texas prides itself on being a very proud, passionate fan base. And then someone takes your hand gesture, which is well known across the entire country, and flips it upside down, and everyone is supposed to take that as some great offense. They're trying to get in your heads. The bully is coming over and pushing you around, and rather than just pushing back or letting the bully know that you're not actually bothering him, you have decided to let him know, this is bugging me like no other, and it's not doing you any favors. This is all so utterly ridiculous that horns down has been taken as some great offense, as some massive, colossal, personal disrespect. No, it's just called college sports. It's just called being a fan. It's just called the regular course of business. If you can't handle a little smack talk, if you can't handle someone taking a hand gesture and flipping it upside down and that being it, then I got two solutions for you. Number one, win the game. Can't really do horns down when, the horns are going to go up from all the fans. Steph Curry had a good line about this a while back. Chris Paul, he was going up against him in an NBA playoff series. And Chris Paul hit a three right in Steph Curry's face. And Steph Curry's iconic celebration is the shimmy. He gives it a little shimmy sometimes. And Chris Paul hit a three in his face. Tough shot, too. And he shimmied right in his face. Did Steph Curry go whining to Adam Silver and say, hey, can you make him not do that? I found that to be so disrespectful. Boy, that was so mean. Like, dude, he's not mentioning anything personal. There are no shots of your family being taken here. He's just trying to get an emotional edge. And Curry's comments went something like this. If you're going to shimmy, you better be ready to be shimmied on. That's what makes sports fun. Is you can go out there and be competitive and talk a little smack. And I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with pushing the envelope sometimes. There are lines that you do not cross. Horns down is not crossing a line. This is complete and utter insanity. And the fact that this has caught on to where you've got a BYU basketball coach being asked about what students wore on their T-shirts. Was there a swear word? No. Was there something insulting in a player or a girlfriend or a family member? No, not that either. Oh, well, who are they insulting? Well, no one really. It's just horns down. If you come up with your own hand gesture, you have to be prepared for other people to turn it around on you. This doesn't change how I feel about Texas as a football team going into 2024. They can be very, very good. I think they are a playoff team next year. The fan base, however, apparently, or someone, or administrators, someone needs to hear the message, because this seems to be popping up routinely over the last couple of weeks, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. We are not in Little League, okay? This is not, taunting is not an automatic ejection and your parents take you home, or you can't talk smack or anything. No, that's what sports are. It's competitive. You got a bunch of alpha males out there getting the competitive juices out. And if you're going to horns up when you hit a shot or fans are going to do it, guess what? People are going to horns down when it goes their way. And that's all right. And that sort of gamesmanship, that sort of mental mind games, not only am I okay with it, I'm 100% here for it. And guess what? If you go into a hostile environment, whether it's Texas football, basketball, softball, baseball, I don't care. and someone's giving you horns down, if you win the game, you get to throw it right back in their face. That's the way this works. But enough with the horns down is some horrible, no good, very bad, offensive remark. It just isn't. Relax a little bit. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.